Thank you, Logan.
Oh, hello. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Lives on Tuesdays, which will always be an adventure. We are joined by August and Gaia today, and they don't really have much of an opinion on this matter, so I'm just going to go on without them. So I got this question in my OPC group, my online PilatesClasses.com membership group, and they were talking about the handles and if it matters if you have a handle that looks like this, where it might not be curved, but it's like a wooden dowel or even like a foam dowel versus using a loop as a handle. So here's the thing. The handle has changed over time since Joseph Pilates. If you look at the archival handles, they're like this wire interesting thing, and but they always had this hard handle right here. I used to have, if you look at old tutorial videos, you will see on the Cadillac and on the armchair, I had a metal handle with like some sort of plastic around it. And I really liked that for special reasons. And then on my old reformer and my new reformer, I have this Controllage handle. And it's also on my Cadillac. It's also my pedipole. It's also on my armchair. So why do I prefer this to this in your hands? Well, here's why. I understand that for some flow things in reformer classes, a double loop, which I don't have to show you, it's a loop like this with another loop. I understand that that helps things flow better because you don't have to like switch handles out or add extension straps. The problem with that is when you put your hand in this, it doesn't actually allow you to not break your wrist. So that's what I mean by breaking your wrist. You want to keep your wrist really straight, but because of the way this pulls, it's almost impossible because it almost like pinches the skin or pulls on the skin. When you break your wrist, you disconnect the muscles of your forearm and your upper back, which just makes it really hard to do some of the exercises, especially if you're someone who's like zooming or like spending a lot of time on your computer. You need, the more you can connect to your back, the better, right? So when you use a handle like this, one thing that makes it really easy to see is if your pinky comes off of the handle, that is actually information that you're not connecting to your back. If you're using a handle like this, it's almost impossible to know if your pinky came off because the handle just stays with you. And so your hand can do weird things on every exercise that you might not even pay attention to because you're you're not getting that same feedback. So when I teach all of my reformer classes, my Cadillac classes on OPC, I talk about this pinky side of your hand being in the handle, right? And so also what that allows you to do with a handle like this is see if it is parallel, right? If I'm doing rowing 3 from the chest, if I've got this handle, if my pinky comes off, I can feel it, but also if I look at my hand and my handle is turned to the side, that also gives me some information. Still hard to see and get feedback with this handle. So the other thing that you want that when you're looking at a handle is you actually want this little part to move, y'all. If this doesn't move, then your arm has to do funky things. And some engineers have made this stationary, but it is really important because let's say you're doing backstroke, right? Backstroke, your arms go up, they circle around, they come over. If this doesn't move, you might have to like turn your arm in funky ways because the strap's going to get kind of pulled over your hand. So you do want this to move. It also allows you to go from rowing 4, right, to where your thumb is hooked in, rowing 4 to flipping your hands and going up. So it really does allow you to keep the flow. I love that about it. When you use these loops, it's great for your feet because A, they're nice and soft. These are my friend's Good Citizen. And when you put this strap on your feet, you can really take up a lot of space. It allows you to wrap your foot around it, and then you can stand on it and use it, right? You would never want to put your feet in something like this. So if you're on a Controllage reformer, you have this handle attached to a leather loop, and then you would just use a leather loop for your short spine, short strap. You would need a actual longer loop for long spine, but a lot of people just have that double loop, and so they actually don't have short enough loops for their short spine or long enough loops for their long spine, and it kind of doesn't really help you. So if you have ropes, and so you're like, oh my God, Lesley, I want a handle like this, but I've got the ropes. No problem. There's a company called Elements out there. I have no affiliation with them. They actually have the handle with the loop. Now, your loops will be too long for short spines. You will want to shorten your ropes for the short spine exercise. But if you're taking a class with me or something on demand, just pause, shorten your ropes, do your short spine, lengthen them back, and then you have the right loops for everything else. So that's what my suggestion would be. Um, if you are like, oh, but these handles, LL, they hurt my wrists. Yes, woo. Well, that's fun. Um, they hurt my wrists. Yeah, well, that's a sign that you're not connected to your back. Trust me, I know it sounds really annoying. You're like, I am connected to my back. You're not. You're just not. I promise you, when I'm connected to my back, I don't even notice these. When I'm not connected to my back, they hurt like freaking heck. So it is just giving you feedback and information. And isn't that what we want? Like, that is the beauty of the equipment. It gives you feedback and information that the mat work doesn't. And so we use the equipment to get better at our practice. When we hit up our mat work, we slay, right? We just keep improving. So thank you for this question to my OPC members. This one's for you. And if you have any more questions about handles or straps or length of anything, just know that we also do have Mastering the Basics workshops. One of them is on the mat. We have one on the reformer. We have one on the Cadillac. We have one on all the chairs, one on all the barrels. And we just did one on props and apparatus. And those will really go into detail about all the beauties of these other little things that matter in our practice and why they exist. So thank you so much for your questions. Thanks for joining us live. If you're loving these lives, let us know. Like this video. Also make sure that you subscribe to the channel and put in the comments what you want us to talk about next. Thank you.